today's session. Okay, so I can see that people cannot hear me. I'm not sure if that is true. I'm not sure if that is true. It seems some people cannot hear me, but I'm not sure if it is true. Is it true? Type in the chat, please, so that I know. Type. Okay, can hear you. Okay. All right, brilliant. Brilliant one. So, guys, I'm excited to have all of you here. Okay, I'm excited to have all of you here. All right. But before we get to start, because I would love to know, I mean, we've started the session. Okay, it's 8 o'clock already. So let's discuss. Now, how many of you are excited to be here? Because we're going to start on a very fantastic note. I have a riddle I want you to solve. Okay, I have a riddle I want you to solve. How many of you want to solve it before we start? Okay, how many of you want to solve it before we start? Something special for the winner, something special for whoever wins. Okay, it's going to be very tricky. So if you are ready, let me know so that I can drop it and then we start. All right, brilliant, brilliant. So the riddle goes thus. Okay, the riddle goes thus. If you remove S from number 6, what do you have left? If I remove letter S from number 6, what do I have left? If are you people using ChatGPT? Shalom, did you use ChatGPT? How come you got the answer so fast? All right, fantastic. The correct answer is number 9, and Shalom got it first. So Shalom, send me a DM at the end of this session. So stick around till the end. Send me a DM, and others who got the answer, fantastic one. So I want to know if you are joining us for the very first time as well. Here at Nebiant Analytics. If you are joining us for the very first time, just type a 10. 10 is a perfect number. So type a 10 in the chat box. But if you've been joining us in the past, you can type regular. So I know we are on, so I know, if you're joining us for the first time and the like. So I'm joining from Lagos. I also love to know where you're joining us from. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, Chief Operating Officer here at Nebiant Analytics. So you may be wondering what we do. So I'll give you a brief introduction about Nebiant, and then we get right into what we have for today. Nebiant Analytics is an edtech firm, and what we do is to help Africans get into the tech space through premium tech training programs. So we selected 3 career paths: data analytics, data science, business analysis, to give Africans a real chance of getting into tech. In my experience, while I was working with Alfa Romeo, one of the things I noticed was that there were 1,500 employees and only a handful were Black, not to talk of those in tech. So I started asking the question, why is this the case? And the reason is because our white counterparts had the opportunity to experience a premium tech training program that gives them a long-lasting support. So there is no reason for them not to be able to smoothly transition into tech. So that's exactly what we seek to bring here at Nebiant Analytics. And you may be wondering, okay, a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Nebiant Analytics. I manage operations, and I have quite a ton of experience working as a data analyst as well as a data scientist. Notably, I worked with Alfa Romeo, one of Italy's largest luxury car brands, and I worked with their branch in the US. All right, and I did that remotely from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. So if you are here tonight and remote work is something that sounds interesting to you, you are in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now so we can continue from there. I want you to see my screen. um, so we can continue. Okay, so confirm once you can see my screen, type in the chat crystal clear so I know you can actually see my screen. For now, you probably can see my video. Okay, you can see me. So but I want you to see my screen. So I'm gonna be sharing it anytime now. So once you see it, type crystal clear in the chat. So or just show me a sign. Show me a sign that you can see it so I know we are on the same page. Brilliant. All right. So that is that's about me. And I've talked about Nabians and how we've also helped a number of Africans get into the space. The person you met, if you were here earlier, the person who was giving their testimonial did person who was giving their testimonial, okay, one of the persons that were able to help get into the space. So our roadmap for today is going to be very simple. Okay, we're going to look at some persons. Okay, one of them is Esther. So I deliberately wrote her name here. How they got into the space, and then we'll talk about how you can also stand out. Specifically, in the data world, everybody is learning data today. Okay, everyone is learning data. So how do you stand out in the space? So confirm you can hear me. I saw somebody give a thumbs down. Confirm you can still hear me, please. Okay, can we still hear me? Okay, brilliant. All right, so how can you take the same steps, and then at the end of the session I'll give a special announcement. You'd also be able to ask questions. Okay, so take notes of all your questions so that at the end of the session I can take them. Now let's start with Esther very quickly. Okay, um esther esther she finished from the School of Nursing. Okay, and I want you to listen very attentively. She finished from the School of Nursing, but she quickly realized that that's not where she wants to be. She wanted a whole lot more. She was not satisfied where she was financially, not with the profession, but where she was financially, right? So she decided that, you know what, I'm going to get into tech. So she took her data analytics program. She joined our program in February. She had some struggles. Okay, and I love to mention that people had struggles because this is real world. I'm not here to sugarcoat this for you. She had some struggles. Okay, at some point she said, oh, she was overwhelmed, and that was when the expertise she needed was given to her. And then 3 months later, in May 2025, she landed her first role as a monitoring and evaluation analyst working hybrid. Okay, so she goes to the office once in a week. Majority of her work is done from home. All right, and she was in a better place financially. Okay, now this is Naomi. You probably heard Naomi speaking if you joined early enough. Um, she shared her story. She used to work, she works, okay, not used to, she works in a francophone country. She's a Nigerian. And so for that reason, she noticed she started being relegated. All right. And then she decided, I'm leaving here. But they did not let her leave. They kept her. She was disgruntled, but she was there. What did she do? She decided that, you know what, I'm leaving here to my first remote work. Okay. And she decided that I will join Nabian. So she joined us, she took our business analysis program. This was earlier this year. Okay. She followed all our instructions. She posted on LinkedIn. She completed her classes. She completed her portfolio. She did all the right things. And she got a job in March. But what was funny about the job she got? The same company that relegated her offered to create a new, in fact, they had created the department. They then offered that she leads that department. So she said, you know what, she's going to think about it. All right. They said, no, don't think about it. Take it. She said, okay, I'll take it, but will you give me training? And they were like, we see what you do on LinkedIn. Listen to me, guys. We see what you do on LinkedIn. You will train others in that department. Okay. So recruiters are moved by what you do, not what you say. Okay. What have you done? What have you done? Not what you go to tell them, in an interview. Okay, so the key thing is you must have proof of work. You must work on projects that depict what is obtainable in that industry you are looking to get into. All right. Now, if you want to stand out, if you want to take one thing from me in this session tonight, oh, Mohammed, I want to get into tech. I want to stand out. What is that thing I can do? Now, let me tell you what you need to do. The first thing is you need to work on top notch real world projects. Okay. And I'm going to show you one of those projects now. Okay. I'll show you one of the kinds of projects you need to work on. But before I do that, how many of you know how to use Excel? If you've ever used Excel before for anything, or you consider yourself, oh, I can use Excel, just give me a thumbs up or type a yes or type Excel in the chat. Let me know you can use Excel. Okay, fantastic. You are familiar with Microsoft Excel. Brilliant. Now, let me ask you another question. Let me show you something. Okay, allow me to show you something. All right, allow me to. I want you to look at my screen. Okay, do you believe that this is Microsoft Excel? Do you believe this is Microsoft Excel? The same Excel that you know how to use. The same Excel. So if I told you this is still Microsoft Excel, can you believe that? You'll be like, no. So look very closely. Do you think, oh, Mohammed, this is not Excel. This is just, you did it somewhere, you put it in Excel. This is Microsoft Excel. Okay. Microsoft Excel, as you can see. Those are the charts right there. Okay. I can move things around. All right. Look at the sliders. It's like a mobile app in Excel. Okay. And this was built from this data set. Raw, messy, just bare. Okay. Now, these are the kinds of projects. These are the kinds of projects that you need to work on. Okay. These are the kind of projects you need to work on. These are the kind of skill set you need to have to be able to drag or get the attention of potential recruiters. Okay. Let me quickly show you another one. Okay. This is another one. All right. Still Microsoft Excel. Have you ever seen this chart before? Do you know what this chart is? Do you know what the name of this chart is? Where were the Excel users? Okay. What's the name of this chart? What's the name of this one also? So these are the kind of projects that you want to build. Now, it's not just about bamboozling people with charts. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not about bamboozling your hiring manager with charts. It's the ability for you to be able to speak confidently, even with the kind of skill sets that you have. Okay, so this is a snippet. This is, for example, this is a HR attrition dashboard. HR attrition really simply means we want to know who are the people leaving our organization. People are resigning, people are leaving. How do we control that? And so on and so forth. So that is what this is. Okay, that is what this is. So let's go back to where we're coming from. So now you see those kind of projects, right? You see those kind of projects. Are you with me? Because I'm heading somewhere. We're talking about you standing out, right? Those kind of projects, you don't want to have it. I mean, they were on my system, and I showed you on my system. If you do that kind of project, as fantastic as it is, if you leave it on your system, on your laptop, it is useless. You must put it in a portfolio. Okay, you must put it in what? A portfolio. All right, I'm going to take you to a portfolio I created to show you what a portfolio looks like, and something like this. So it is insufficient for those projects to be on your laptop. You must create a website for yourself. Okay, and I created this particular website portfolio without writing one line of code. One line of code I did not. I did not write. Okay, so you create something like this, that okay, this is my home page, talks a little bit about me, and then I have a small button at the bottom that says view project, or people can simply just come to this top right corner, click on portfolio, and it takes me to my portfolio page. Now, this page should show what you've been able to build. So those fantastic projects that I have on my laptop, you need to host them here. So at a glance, recruiters can look at what you've done. If you have this, then this is what stands you out from the crowd, because the average African trying to get into tech is simply learning, 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 and learning, and not building anything. Okay, you learn something you don't know of. Okay, you believe, oh, I've learned something, and then you're lost. How do I get a job? So what really stands you out is your ability to have access to, to have these things, showcased in public. Okay, so that you can get results. Okay, now there are jobs out there, by the way. All right, there are so many jobs out there right now, around 35K jobs around data alone. Okay, and let's do a quick search. So let me show you. Okay, so I came here, I came here to show you proof. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Trying to bring in, so let's just bring in this. All right, so let's go to LinkedIn. Okay, let's go to LinkedIn. All right, LinkedIn. This is LinkedIn. Okay, let's quickly go to LinkedIn now. How many of you know LinkedIn? 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 Or you have a LinkedIn account? Where are the LinkedIn boys and girls in the house? The LinkedIn men and women. Fantastic. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, nothing to worry about. You're welcome to LinkedIn. Okay, welcome to Nabiant Analytics as well. So this is my profile. All right, and let me just share my profile link with you. So connect with me. Okay, let me share it with you in the chat. So ensure to connect with me. I would love to, connect with every one of you on the call. Now, but the idea behind LinkedIn is two things. You are able to not just only showcase who you are as a professional. All right, you are not just able to showcase who you are as a professional. And mind you, the attendance form is in the chat box also, so you can click on that link. It's posted by one of my team members. Fill out the form, you get the recording of this session and my slides, so you don't need to write anything once you can see it on my slides. Okay, so the main reason you should have a LinkedIn account is to get visibility and to also be able to search for jobs. So let's search for a job. Okay, let's search for a job. Let's search for data analyst. Okay, data analyst. All right, data analyst. And I'll teach you something very valuable today in this session. Okay, something nobody will give you for free. If you want to look for a job effectively, especially if the job you are looking for is a remote job, all right, and you want to look for it on LinkedIn, this is how you go about it. You search for the job. In this case, we have data analyst, and then you want to click on jobs right here. You want to click on jobs. Okay, click on jobs. All right, click on jobs, and then You want to set your location. Let me enlarge this so that you can see it, guys. Let me enlarge it a little bit. What do you see here? Do I have Lagos here? Or what do I have here as location? I have EMEA. EMEA covers Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Europe, Middle East, and Africa. If you are looking for a remote job, the most effective way to search for it is using EMEA as your location within where you are looking for that job. Okay. And this is just data analyst. I've not talked about data scientists, business analysts. Guys, let me zoom in. Okay. Let me zoom in because I want you to see it. How many open roles do we have? What can you see here? How many job vacancies? Let me not say open roles so that I drive my point home. How many job vacancies can you see? What can you see here? 14,191. 14, and I mean, Fatima, click the link and fill the form. Don't type your name in the chat, okay? Click the link, fill the form, okay, so that you can get that 14,191. And all you need is just one of these jobs. Think of it. Do the percentage. It is not up to 0.001%, and that's what you need. You just need to get one of these jobs. They are in abundance, yet you still don't have one to yourself. And it's simply because you are not correctly standing out yourself as a talent. Okay, you work on projects. First off, the projects are not even eye catchy. It's not something a recruiter, a recruiter will stop scrolling at. Okay, you want to do projects that when a recruiter is scrolling and they come across your project, they scroll back and say, "No, I want to look at this for a moment." All right, the level of project I showed you earlier. So now, I nearly said 1,000, 14,191 straight off the bat. And then you can start to filter to, oh, I want hybrid, I want remote. So I can go to remote, okay, 2,000 plus remote jobs. 2,000 plus remote jobs. That's purely remote, roles. And you can see some of them were posted 2 hours ago, some of them were posted 4 days ago. So the jobs are out there, right? The jobs are there, but you still don't have one to yourself. And one of the biggest problems is what we discussed earlier. Okay, having a project portfolio. So, but another thing that you need to do is, if you notice, I've mentioned like 3 different career paths: data analytics, data science, business analysis. A lot of Africans, okay, they wrongly select career paths. I mean, there are so many high in demand career paths. Okay, so many high in demand career paths. There's abundance in data analytics, data science, business analysis, a lot of opportunities like we've discussed. So, but how do you select a career path such that this second half of 2025, you are giving yourself a realistic chance of finally breaking into the space? And if you've sent me a LinkedIn request, don't worry. I would accept it once we're done with the session, okay? So I can see all of the requests coming in. Brilliant one from you guys. I'd love to connect with every one of you. So, the career path you choose, will go a long way in how what you achieve. Okay, so now, why should you even choose this one of these career paths, either data analytics, data science, business analysis? Now, the very first reason is this, and these reasons also form the criteria for any tech role you want to go for. As an African, I always stress, as an African, because you are a different breed, okay? And you must accept that. First is easy to learn. Now, these career paths are easy to learn. And when I say easy to learn, what I mean is this: regardless of your background, whether you are from engineering, or you don't have a degree, you're a stay-at-home mom, or you just finished from school, or you just started your career, you know, it is easy to learn. Okay. And spoiler alert, when I say easy to learn, I don't mean that, oh, you're just going to sit on your couch, okay, lie on the bed, and it will be entering like that. That's not what I mean by easy to learn. Okay, that's not what I mean by easy to learn. But if you've ever tried to learn tech, okay, and if you're like me, you've tried to learn tech, and you've also tried to learn how to be a mechanic, you'd understand what easy means. Do you get my point? So you will show up, okay, you show up to your classes, you complete your project, you do your own due diligence, and you will be able to learn this to a point where you can say, I know how to do it. Are you with me, guys? Am I making sense? So far, are you enjoying the session? Are you getting value for your time? Give me a thumbs up. Let me see the thumbs up. Are you getting value for your time? Fantastic. Second reason is this: you want to get into tech through a path that it is easy to transition. I mean, we saw the open roles earlier. Okay, we saw the open roles earlier. It is easy to transition simply because there is abundance. Abundance begets results. Okay, so it is easy to achieve something when it is in abundance than when it is constricted. So we all saw the open role. So I didn't even search for business analysis or data science. I would love you to do that yourself. And finally, except if you have an issue with money, okay, maybe you have a beef with money, you're fighting with money, right? Then disregard this third criteria. These roles have fantastic salary projections, okay. And I love to use myself as an example here. I was interviewing with um, Micro1.ai, if you've ever heard of Micro1.ai before. And it was an Indian that interviewed me back then, and you know they've asked all the questions and the likes, and it got to the salary point, and nobody was saying anything. And then they asked me, "Oh, do you have any questions?" And at that point, they had not asked me about. They had not asked me about what my salary expectations were. So I said, you know what, I'll use this opportunity to ask. So I asked, "Oh, is there any? What's the budget for the role?" They didn't even stress me by saying, "Oh, what's the expectation?" Because there are some recruiters that do that, right? They told me, "Oh, it's $40 per hour," and that was straight up 2x what I intended to put out as my own expectation, which was still on the high side. What I was expecting was still on the high side, but what they budgeted for the role was 2x. So such is the opportunity that you find yourself in when you choose this kind of career path. Okay. All right. Am I audible? Are we together, guys? Are we together? Are we together? So um fantastic. So what we've done here at Nebiant Analytics is we went to these job boards, okay, LinkedIn, Indeed, CV Library, Glassdoor, many more of them. We work remotely, so many of them. And we also looked at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs. It's a report that, is compiled by captains of industries, you know, top world politicians, billionaires in dollars, and individuals that drive world economy. And they came together and looked at the future of jobs and decided that, look, one of the jobs that will be high in demand between 2025, projecting it to 2030, is data related jobs. And the projection is like this: the career path is already high in demand relative to others, and it is still projected to increase between 2025 and 2030 by another 30 to 35%. So the question you need to start asking yourself now as an African is, where do I want to be in this? COVID-19 came, it passed a lot of people by. Okay, majority of the people who are professionals in tech now started during the lockdown. Okay, some of them started last year. Okay, some of them started earlier this year, and they've gotten results. Okay, so it is a question of starting. So we did this, and then we came up with this career path: data analytics, data science, business analysis, straight off of the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs. These are the career paths you should be considering as an African. So allow me to walk you through what you need to become each of them. So and I know some of you want all the three, but let me advise you before I even tell you, okay, what you need for each of them. Don't think about becoming all three for now. Focus on one, pick one, focus on it, get a job in that aspect before you think of the second one. So here we go. Now, to become a data analyst, and I want you to look at these tools. To become a data analyst, you need to know Microsoft Excel. Now, earlier I asked you, do you know Microsoft Excel? We all said yes. So, with the project I showed you, do you consider yourself to be to be somebody that knows how to use Microsoft Excel? Answer in the chat again. Let me see. So I've asked the question again. Okay. And this is not to disrespect you, okay? It is just reality. This is what gets you the result. So let's be real. Okay, let's be real with ourselves. Let's not sugarcoat it, right? So that is the level of project. So when I say, if I had come here and say, oh, you need to learn Microsoft Excel, and this was the first slide I showed you, you may not understand the context I'm talking about. But now that you've seen the kind of project you should be working on, now when I tell you you need to learn Microsoft Excel, then you know exactly what I'm saying. And Microsoft Excel is not the only thing you need. You need SQL, you need Power BI, you need Tableau, you need Looker Studio, and you need Chat GPT. Now, you see these three tools: Power BI, Tableau, and Looker Studio. They are called data visualization tools. The kind of Excel dashboard I showed you, that's the kind of dashboard people believe that, oh, Excel cannot build, or you have to use tools like Power BI, right? And so many people believe that. Okay. But you see these three tools, typically recruiters would need you to know just one tool. In fact, there are roles where you be required to know just Excel, right? So why did we add all three anyways to our program here at Navient Analytics? The reason is we want you to stand out, in the job market. We want this to put you as at a pedestal that projects you as a top talent across the globe. Any professional, a data professional, data analyst to be specific, that has Power BI, Tableau, and Looker Studio is a hot cake. So automatically you are a hot cake. All right. So you need to know this. And of course, ChatGPT, we are in the era of AI. So if you are going into tech or anything, whatever you're doing now, and you don't make use of AI, or sooner or later, somebody who does make use of AI will replace you, even if you're already in tech. Okay, so you need to start getting yourself acquainted with AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude AI, and the like. So, yeah. Now, as a data scientist, okay, your job is more of predictive. You are predicting into the future, to tell organizations what they need to do to get results. Okay. Um, so Mickey Benjamin, it seems you came late. Okay, so you missed a valuable part of this session, but no worries. Feel the fall. Okay, I showed, maybe if you stick around, Mickey Benjamin, I would show you the project again so you can see the level of Microsoft Excel I'm talking about. All right. So data science is more of predicting into the future. So the tools you need to do that sometimes overlap with the data analyst, but you use it in different ways. So Microsoft Excel still, SQL. SQL, I know I didn't talk about SQL here. SQL is a database tool that you use to store your data. So organizations use it to store their data. So when you get into the organization as a professional, you get access. So you need to know how to connect to the data source to stream your data for analysis. All right. So you also have Tableau. Tableau is a data visualization tool. Ordinarily, as a data scientist, you don't need Tableau. Ordinarily. But again, here we are. We want you to stand out. Okay. And not just stand out based on what we feel, it is based on what recruiters are looking for. Are you with me, guys? So you also have Python. Python is going to be your bread and butter. Guys, let me tell you something. When I was trying to get into tech, I hated Python. In fact, as at the point I got into tech, I still did not like Python at my early stages. Not until I started working with data scientists and I was able to see firsthand that Python is not as difficult as most people think. In fact, today, Python, Python is Python is one of my best tools to use, and that's because I don't need to drag and drop. Okay, AI can write whatever codes I need. Okay, I just focus on getting results and interpreting the results that I get. Of course, I know my Python very well. Okay, but instead of wasting time writing codes myself, okay, I get AI to do that for me, and then I, as a professional, focus on solving the real problem at hand. So no organization hire you to write codes; they hire you to solve problems. So why not solve problems and leave the code for the AI? So you have GitHub as well, and ChatGPT, of course. So business analyst, as a business analyst, ordinarily you don't need these first three tools. Let me circle it for you. Ordinarily, as a business analyst, you don't need Excel, SQL, and Power BI. Ordinarily, and this was in the recent past. But recruiters have started asking that even as a business analyst, even if we know that as a business analyst, you deal with people, you track, you manage, you collaborate, you meet, you are doing more meetings, documentation, and the likes. You need to know how to handle data to a reasonable extent. So recruiters have started requiring that as a business analyst, you know how to use Excel, Power BI, and SQL. All right, maybe not as deep as a data analyst, but to a reasonable extent. So for that reason, we included it in our curriculum. Okay, so if you go out there, and you tell people, oh, I'm looking for a business analyst course, okay, you would likely not see Excel, Power BI, and SQL there. All right, so you do that kind of course, you get into the job market, and you are nowhere to be found because you simply don't have the requirements. All right. So for that reason, we included this. And then you go into the core business analysis frameworks. You use Miro, to map out processes. You use Jira to manage your team. You use Azure DevOps for collaboration and documentation. You use Draw.io to map out process, and ChatGPT to level up. Okay. So that is that about this. So tell me, which of them would you choose? I know if you fill the form, and this is the point, if you've not filled the form, fill it out now. Fill it out now. Okay, the attendance form is in the chat box, posted by one of my um posted by one of my uh you know uh colleagues. So click on that blue link, fill it out. I saw somebody asking a very tricky question. Normally, I won't take question now, but that question is very interesting. So let me just take it. Somebody's asking which one is the simplest. Okay, if you want to get into tech, it's not about the simplest. Okay, it's not about the simplest. Like I said, these three career paths are easy to learn. They're already easy to learn. So how simple do you want it? Okay, so they are easy to learn. All you need to do is to show up as required, and you're going to learn this to the to a reasonable extent where you can say, I know how to do it. Now, if what you mean is which one should you go for, if that's your actual question, which one should you go for, then don't worry. I'll love you to raise up your hand at the end of the session. Ask a question. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion at the end of the session. So we'll get to talk. You tell me a little bit about yourself, and I'll tell you which one suits you. All right. But don't come here and look for easy. Okay. Don't look for easy, please. Let's look for the one that fits you. All right. So while you are doing that, okay, I can see a lot of people saying, I want to become a data analyst, business analyst, data scientist. That's brilliant. Now, there are three things you need to do. First, you have made the decision on which one to go for. So the next step is to start, okay, and then you brand yourself. And this is why I talk of doing the things we ask you to do. So you see those people that got jobs, Naomi and Esther, that I've talked about so far, they did all of this. So what I'm talking about now is equally important. Branding is what projects you to the public. CV assessment. What does your CV look like? What should your CV look like when you're applying to jobs? LinkedIn profile optimization, portfolio building. I showed you a sample portfolio earlier. Upwork profile setup. All right. So you build an Upwork profile to do freelancing. Freelancing is free. If freelancing is an option for you, Upwork profile is there. And on Upwork, you don't need your CV. In fact, they'll tell you your CV is useless. You don't need your CV on Upwork. So I want you to take a wild guess. If you don't need your CV on Upwork, what do you think recruiters on Upwork would use to hire you? Who is the first person? Who get the answer? Let me see. If they say your CV on Upwork is not needed or not required, what do you think? It's a portfolio, okay? Projects. Thank you very much. It's a portfolio without doubt. What have you been able to do? Okay, so and then you also go through mentorship. Okay, mentorship. You also have a lifetime interview preparation session. So anytime you have an interview, you tell us and we'll prepare you for the interview, even if your program has ended normally. So for the fact that you passed through Naviance, you still get the opportunity to come back to us to get interview preps. You have job reference as well. You get referred for jobs. So you have and you know it's two ways. So if you get a job, you get an offer, and you need a reference letter, I'll provide that to you. Okay, and then when opportunities get to our table, okay, we look at you and also recommend you for those jobs. All right. On the job supports as well. So even again, this is support after you finish the program, even after you've gotten a job. If you need help, all you need to do is to reach out. You know where to get us, and then you get the help that you need. Okay, and then applying to jobs. A lot of people fail here. You want to use AI when applying to jobs. How do you use AI? So when you apply to jobs, there's something called let me see if I have it here. I think I have it here. Okay. All right. So there is something called ATS when you apply to jobs. So the moment you hit that apply button, your CV does not actually go to a human being. It goes to a robot called ATS, Applicant Tracking System. Now, what the applicant tracking system does is it looks at your CV, looks at the job description, and then based on how your CV matches the job description, it scores you on a scale of 1 to 100. Now, anything below 90 over 100, you get an automated rejection email. So how many of you have applied to jobs and then you get a rejection email? How many of you apply to jobs and then you get an email, oh, we regret to inform you that we'll be moving on with other candidates we deem more suitable for the role? And then you're like, why? Exactly. Let me tell you, the organization did not even know that you applied to the job. The human beings there did not know that you applied to the jobs. It's the ATS that sent you the email. Okay, and I had one funny experience in the past, and let me share it with you. I applied to this job. Immediately when I hit the apply button, okay, as I hit the apply button, I got the rejection email immediately. I thought that was funny enough. That was funny enough to me already. The following day, I got the same email again. So I don't know. Maybe they thought, you know what? If you miss that first one, take it again. All right. So, but that is just evidence that it is the ATS that is sending you the email, and not an actual human being. So you have to scale through the ATS by building an ATS yourself. So when you build an ATS using ChatGPT, you then use that to test your CV with the job description first before you apply to the job. So you don't waste your time and waste your energy applying to jobs. So I've talked about the rest already. So Esther did these three things. She started learning. Okay, she branded herself. She followed all our instructions, attended all our classes, and then she applied to job following um, all the all the tips and tricks we gave her, and then she got a job. Okay. Now let me talk about some other people who, because it's not just Esther and Naomi, right? Some other people have gotten jobs as well after passing through us. This is Ugochi. Ugochi joined us. She Before she joined us, she was out of job for a while. Okay, so she was becoming a mom, of obviously. So she had to step out of work and allow herself to um um become a mom. Okay, now she wanted to get back into the workspace, but she didn't want to come back as a starter. So she wanted to have an undue advantage. So she decided that I'm going to go into tech and I'm going to choose Nebians to do that. So she joined us in February, and fast forward in June, she got a job, um, 1 month after our training program with Marite Consulting. And as we speak, she's even training other people to become, business analysts themselves. All right. So, and Ugochi had our own struggles too. And again, I love to talk about people's struggles. They are real people, so you get to know, that these people didn't. It's not as if it's sugar coated. Okay, she struggled with what we call imposter syndrome. When you're making it, but it feels like as if you're a fraud. All right, that's what imposter syndrome is. And if you don't know how to handle it well, you'd crumble under the pressure. Okay, so she complained to us, and we mentored her, shared some personal experiences with her, and that motivated her. So she didn't see herself as abnormal. She knew that what she was going through was absolutely normal, and she just needed to grind it out. She did that, and then she got the desired results that she wanted. This is Mary. Mary, her story is fantastic. So she saw us on Instagram. Okay. And then she thought, you know what, this is what I've been looking for. I'm going to join. She joined us. And this was December last year. Okay. Mary joined us. The first offer she got was, an internship role. And she got that role, with Soronko Foundation. Now, right now, she now has a paid internship role for 6 months, and a clause to give her a permanent role based on her performance after the 6 months. She started this last month. Okay. And when she got the role, she was told that 3,000 plus people applied for that job. So Mary came back to us and told us that I think it is the CV you guys gave us that stood me out. So on her own, she does not even think she's worth singling out. Okay, out of 3,000 plus people, she still came back to us and told us that I think it's that CV you gave us that made the difference. Okay, so these are some people who have gotten results. We also have Oluwaseun. Oluwaseun, fantastic. He used to work in a very small microfinance bank. you know, um, I was somewhere in Lekki, Lagos, and we bumped into each other and we started talking. And then he said, "Oh, I'm trying to do this," and I'm like, "Okay, join our program, right?" And he did so, and now he's gotten several contracts. And one of the reason I love to talk about Oluwaseun is because after our discussion where we met, okay, he got the opportunity to get his profile optimized even before he started the program. And just as he got his profile optimized, his LinkedIn profile optimized, he started getting DMs from potential recruiters. Okay. So and this was before he started the program, mind you. There are more people that I would love to talk about. Grace. Grace, her company tried to ignore her. Okay, she used to work in a very popular bank in Nigeria. If I call their name, you would know. Okay, but you can easily know. You can just look Grace up on LinkedIn. All right. So she didn't get a promotion, nothing, and she upskilled with us here at Nabiant, and then she got an offer from Sparkle. Now she told her organization that, oh, I got an offer from Sparkle. So they decided to promote her immediately. They did that, okay, but it backfired. She went back to Sparkle and told them that, look, I had just been promoted, okay, and I'm happy with the promotion. And Sparkle immediately reviewed her offer again. And at that point, it was clear where she wanted to be. It was no longer difficult for her to make a decision. So tell me what you think her decision was. All right. And from the onset, she used to be a mere computer operator with an insurance uh, company. So this is Lebura Olawale. Lebura Olawale, the very first Excel dashboard she built got her a DM from a recruiter. She posted it on LinkedIn. Of course, she didn't leave it on her laptop. So, and here's what I tell people: when we tell you post on LinkedIn, that could be the only roadblock for you to get your very first role. All right. She posted it on LinkedIn and she, got a DM. And this was 3 weeks into her data analysis program. And this is Helen Okai. I love to talk about Helen Okai because I was the one who prepared her reference letter when she got an offer, from a recruiter to work as a marketing data analyst to them. And you see, for example, let me point out something. Maybe you are not reading through the lines. Grace got a role not as a data analyst, but as application support engineer. But the tool she is meant to use there, SQL, she learned it through our data analysis program. So, and this is what we tell people that look, it is not about the name they call the role, it is about the requirements for the role. What tools are they asking for? All right. So that's another strategy I've given you to look for jobs. So when you're looking for a job, don't just type data analyst. Oh, because Mohammed typed data analyst in that session, I want to look for just data analyst. No, you're shooting yourself in the leg. Now, these are some highlight packages that we offer that I want to speak about. We offer a lifetime interview prep. So once you join us for live, you get access to interview preparation before any interview. You have a lifetime access to all your training materials. So you never have to come back begging, oh, now my class, you said you recorded it. Can I get access to the recording? We don't do that here. You get access to it from the onset for life. You also have a lifetime access to recommendation letters. So we won't say, oh, your program finished last month, so you have to pay to get a recommendation letter. We don't do that. We want to build a big community with you guys. So we give you a lifetime access to recommendation letter. And you also have a lifetime access to alumni mentorship. So we have periodic alumni activities. So you'll be part of all of these things. So get constant mentorship to ensure that you get your results even after your program has ended. Okay, so you hardly find people who are dedicated to this. Now the program is for 4 months. Okay, 3 months of learning in class and 1 month of internship. Now it's 100% online. Okay, you would have people from around Africa join the class as well. So, and you have instructors from across Africa and Nigeria, in class. So we are not confined to a local set of instructors or professionals. So we have professionals who also have their jobs and also come into class to pass on their experience to you. So our main classes are during the weekend. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. For 3 hours, you have an instructor in class walking you through step by step. So let's see. Where is this person that asked a question or that said I know how to use Excel? So you see this kind of Excel dashboard that I showed you. The step by step, okay, of creating a dashboard like this. You'll be in class and you solve this business problem, starting from the raw data set like this, moving to Excel tables. I'm sure most of you don't know what Excel tables are. If you know it, fantastic, that's good for you. Then pivot tables, and this is not your mundane pivot tables. This is high level pivot table, and then you turn the pivot table to pivot charts and your resulting dashboard. So step by step, and the why and the how on getting something like this done. You go through that in that class Saturday 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for 3 hours. You have an instructor, just the way I am on this call now in that class. Now you also have on Sundays. Now Sundays you don't need to come, you don't need to show up in class. It's a self-paced, we call it DID videos. So do as I do. Now these videos, the idea is for it to prepare you through the week, okay, for your ahead of your next class the following Saturday. All right, ahead of your next class the following Saturday. Okay, so the DID videos prepare you ahead of the class, so you decide when you want to watch it. Okay, but the key thing is you ensure you complete watching it before your next class. And then during the weekdays you don't have actual classes, we just meet with you to support. So we have Tuesday evening sessions 9 to 10 p.m. we call it support sessions, just for questions or presentation, no class. Okay, you ask your questions, gray areas on what you've done so far, and the facilitator who took you in class will be there to help you circumvent any issue that you have. And then on Thursdays, you go through mentorship sessions where we discuss tips and tricks to use in interviews, like how to negotiate a salary, how to introduce yourself, how to answer tricky questions like, tell me one of your biggest weakness, and then you answer because you've prepared, and then they ask you again, what's your second weakness? Okay, so how do you attack questions like that in an interview? So we make use of two learning platforms. The first one is Google Classroom. This is the secret behind we being able to provide all your class materials on a lifetime basis for you. All right, so it's Google Classroom. You get to use, and you have a lifetime access to your class recordings, everything, okay, that you get to do. All right, and then you also get to use our bespoke learning management system, our LMS, where upon which or through which you get access to the Do As I Do videos that prepare you ahead of class on a weekly basis. Now, when we say you get a lifetime access to the recording, and I want to clear this out. We don't mean, oh, you miss classes and then because you have access to the recording, or you can easily go back to the recording. You should show up for class. The main reason we provide the recordings for you on a lifetime basis is because when you get a job, imagine you get a job and you're like, oh, there was something Mohammed taught me in class back then. Okay, let me quickly go back to the recording to look for it. Then the recording starts to make sense for you to have access to it at that time. Okay, it's not to encourage absenteeism. You have the full brochure here. Okay, you have the full brochure here in the slide as well. So ensure to fill out the attendance form if you haven't already. It is in the chat. It's a blue link. Click on that link, fill out the form while you listen to me. If you've done that, you can type it done. If you've not done that, the link is in the chat posted by my colleague, Enquiries Nabiant. Click on the link and fill the attendance form. So if you filled it, you can just give me a thumbs up or something. Show me a sign. All right. So you can see some fantastic dashboards built in Looker Studio and in Power BI. These are some of the kind of projects you get to work on and display in your portfolio, okay, in your personal website, so that you can get access to recruiters and get the attention of recruiters. I've also included some of our students' portfolios in here so that you can see for yourself the different variations, and they built this using one of our guides. Okay, the material they used to build this is not more than 1 hour. Within 1 hour, they were able to build their portfolio, and it's one of the first things we give to you when you join us. Okay, so the big question, okay, we've hit the 1 hour mark, so let's start talking. How many of you are interested in knowing how to get into our next class starting on the 9th of August? So we have our next class starting on the 9th of August, and I know I've been speaking to everybody, But now I want to speak with those who are ready to start their journey. So if you know you are ready to show and do the work required, you know how to follow instructions. Okay, this is for you. All right, this is for you. Now, let's see what the next slide says. All right, now for you to get into the next class starting on the 9th of August, here are the requirements and the offer. Okay, now for of course you already know we offer 3 programs, so and there's no price variation. It's a flat out 350,000 naira for all our offerings. All right. But for those of us who are on this call listening to me right now, instead of 350,000, you get a whopping 100K off. So if you're deciding to take a slot today, the price of the program is 250,000 naira. Now, this 250,000 naira, okay, um, it sounds good already because you're getting 100K off. You can split it into 3 installments. And the only reason we are doing this is because, okay, we want to work with serious people, people who are serious about getting into the tech space. You spent 4 years in school, right? You spent 4 years in school. You probably are doing a job you don't care about. Now, this is 4 months. Invest 4 months and start to do something that'll put you in a better place financially. Okay, 3 installments, 85,000 to get yourself started in August 9th, another 85,000 1 month into the training program, and then 80,000 the second month into the program. Okay, now let me predict. Some of you say, "Oh, it's too sudden. I need time." Who is in that? Who is in that? Who is in that? Who is in that bracket? Oh, it's too sudden. Oh, I need time. This and that. So fine. And please prove me wrong. You want to start August, okay? All you need now is 85,000 naira to get started. Now, if you think, oh, you need a little bit of time, here is the offer. First off, this discount will exist now. So only if you're securing your spot, you get this discount. If you're securing a spot this evening, okay, you get this discount, right? If you want to get access to, let's say, for example, you're not available to start in August, you want to start in September, so we'll have another class starting September 6th. You can secure your spot now with 30,000 naira, so that when you come back and you're ready to start, we don't tell you, oh, the price has changed. And even if the prices change, okay, from 250 to something else, it does not affect you. So with 30,000 naira tonight, you gain the discounted slot. You can do a direct transfer to our Kuda Bank account 302648016. And once you've done that, send Mohammed, that's me, send me a DM, and I will personally walk you through on how to get started, on the next steps to take regarding your enrollment. Okay, this is not all. Let me add, anybody, I want to repeat and listen to me, anybody who secures their discount tonight, okay, 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 p.m. tomorrow, I would hold an exclusive session for those people that secure their spot tonight. I hold an exclusive session, and guess what I'll teach them in that session? I'll give you an early access to how to build a portfolio without writing one line of code. You're going to experience it, you're going to build it yourself, and you see how it is. Okay, we'll build a portfolio from scratch. Don't come to class with anything. Okay, you would experience how to build a portfolio from scratch, and this is exclusive, not for everybody, for those who secure. This is simply because you secured your spot tonight. So, meaning those who send me a DM tonight with a proof of payment are those who gain access to this offer. So 300-264-8016. direct DM of at least 30,000 naira. That secures you your spot. Then, but if you want to start in August, it's 5,000 naira. You can still secure a spot with 10,000 naira, but the key thing is before the class starts August 9th, you then top up to complete the first installment. You know, to make it 85,000 naira to start. But if you want to just tie down that discount, do that tonight. All that is required is 30,000 naira. Send me a DM 0703 215 8619. 0703 215 8619. No calls, DMs only. All right. DMs only, please. No calls, please. DMs. That's my line. Imagine the whole world calling me. So you give me a nightmare, okay? So I don't want to get a nightmare. So please send me a DM out, relax and gladly walk you through personally. I'm not sending you to my assistant. It is me. I'll walk you through personally through the enrollment process. So send me a DM now. All right, send me a DM now and let's work with you. So while you're securing your spots and sending me your DMs, I'll take questions. So if you have any question, you can, raise your hand or type it in the chat box. I'll answer your question. I'll answer a question. So this is a question and answer session. Okay, question and answer session. So you can type it in the chat. So I'm going to move from the hands raised to the chats concurrently. So bear with me, please. So learn and grow. Your hand is up. So please, I'm going to allow people to unmute now. But please do not unmute until I call your name. All right. Do not unmute your mic until I call your name. So learn and grow. You know who you are. Your hand is up. It looks like you want to speak to me. So I'm going to allow you to unmute now. So you can unmute your mic and speak to me. Easy. I don't know if you're on the call. Please, can you grant access to people to unmute? All right. So, all right, brilliant. Can I secure a slot for December? Yes, provided you are securing it this night. Pro vibes. Okay, if you're securing it tonight, yes, you will be able to start in December. You secure your spot. All right. So I think I saw a question after Pro vibes also. Shalom is asking, how do I redeem my prize? With a direct transfer to the bank account number you're seeing on your screen, you secure your discounted slot. Okay. Our Kuda bank accounts 300-264-8016. Details are in the chat also. You see my team member posting the details in the chat. So let me post it also. Okay. And then once you're done, you can send me a DM. Send me a DM 0703 215 8619. That's my personal line. Okay, so like I said, WhatsApp DMs only, unless you want me to have a nightmare. All right. So that's my line. So I hope I answered the question. Shalom. Okay. So once you're done, please send me a DM so that you don't get ghosted, please. Okay, please don't forget to send me a DM. So who else is asking a question in the chat? Let me see. Promise Sunshine Chimwanya. Okay, your name is fantastic. Good evening, sir. How do I know the one I can learn and work with properly? Either business analysis or data science or data analytics. So I promise, do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself? Okay. You can unmute since I've called your name now. Promise. If you're in a silent place, you're in a good place to talk. Promise you can unmute your mic and let's have a conversation. There are a lot of promises on the call. So okay, promise you're unmuted.
I'm the one. Good evening, sir. Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Promise. How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Thank you very much for the class, for the session.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. I'm someone that is good with numbers. I'm naturally good with numbers, and then though I'm a science student, a nursing student actually, so I actually cause want to do something that will not that will comfortably suit into my personality, something I would love doing. Because yes, I love doing nursing as a student because of I have the passion for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I love numbers. I love working with numbers. I write too. I write, yeah. Though I don't really go into research works and the rest of them, but it's something I can learn. Whatever I put my mind to, I can actually do it. That's why I
Fantastic,
decided to ask.
fantastic question, Promise. And I like the part where you said you are somebody who, whenever you put your mind to something, you get it done. You fit the description of the kind of people we work with um here at Nebiat Analytics. So here's the thing, yeah. What I would recommend for you is either data analytics or data science. Okay. Now, and I'll tell you why I recommend either of them. Now, why data analytics? Data analytics is applicable, well, it is the most versatile. Now, that is not to say the rest are not versatile, but it is unbelievably versatile. Engineering. I mean, I had my degree in engineering. Okay. As a data analyst, I had worked with finance, I had worked in supply chain, I had worked in automotive, I had worked in oil and gas. These are different sectors. Only data and analytics, okay, or data related roles can allow you to do that. Okay. And data analytics is especially for people that you don't like to write codes. Okay. But if you don't mind writing codes, promise, okay, data science. Now, why data science? Now, data science allows you to do what we call predictive analytics. Okay, so you said you are in nursing, so you can work on projects like predicting which patients would be diagnosed or is likely to get diagnosed with a heart disease or a specific kind of disease, depending on the data that you have, of course, even before they get tested. All right, just with some other surrounding information, you can predict, okay, with this person be diagnosed. All right, and a lot of such projects have been very useful in the health industry, and they'll keep getting useful. Okay, so I know of a lot of doctors that learn data science specifically because they want to be able to build projects like that, right? So that it's relevant to their work. So the ball is then in your court. Okay. So do you mind writing Python code, or you don't mind writing Python code? Promise.
Okay, I don't mind writing codes as long as I can learn it from the scratch. As long as I can
Fantastic.
learn it step by step, I don't mind writing codes.
Fantastic. It's right from scratch that you get to you get to work. Okay, so the professionals you get to work with understand, they don't expect that you've even done anything data anywhere before. So if you have done anything tech before, good for you. But we expect that you've not. The assumption is that this person knows nothing about tech. So, and it is from there we bring you up to somebody who works in tech. Okay. So, and that's why we work with the kind of professionals we work with and the kind of curriculum we work with here. So data science, it is fantastic. So promise. What are you gonna do about it now? We've done the talking. So are you going to be one of the persons I would also get to receive exclusively in my session tomorrow?
Yeah, by God's grace, I'm working on it right now. So, if everything goes well, I would definitely love to be part of it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Fantastic. So I'll be looking to receive your DM tonight. Then is that the meaning?
Yeah, yeah. Everything goes well. I should. Yes. I already saved up your number.
Fantastic. So send me a DM. I'm already receiving DMs. So I want to see your name pop up on my phone as well. So that you you get uh one slot. Okay. It's not an infinite number of slots. So there is a number we get to that people cease to get um access. All right. So let me see if there's any question in the chat before I take the next hand. Max. So, Max, before I answer your question, let me ask you a question. Do you know who Max Verstappen is? Do you know who Max Verstappen is? That's just by the way. All right, don't mind me. He's actually a Formula One driver. If you know him, okay. So if you know him, that's good. You can give me a thumbs up while I answer a question, though. All right. Um, Give me a second. All right. So you said I don't have the money to tie down a spot tonight, but I will on Friday. Would that be permitted? I'll most likely pay for the whole first installment this very Saturday. All right. So Max, we typically don't do this. Okay, we typically don't do this. All right. But here is for your own type of request. Okay. Let's take it out of this call. All right. What I want you to do, Max, is this evening, this is part of the whole requirement. Okay, this evening, send me a text. Oh, I am Max on the call, who wants to get the first installment by Friday, and then we can talk about how we can make that happen. Okay. So don't miss that DM this this evening. Okay. So Max. So the reason I'm laughing is because when I say Max, you can just type Max Verstappen on the internet, okay, and see who he is. All right, very ferocious sportsman. All right, so let me see. Let me take another question. So Akintunde, I can see your hand is up. Okay, so let me take one more question in the chat before I come to you. Is that fine? Just one more question in the chat. So the question is from, I hope I don't skip anybody's question. If I skip your question, please don't be annoyed, but I'm likely not. So Oluwa Somi, please, is there any plan for those who work part-time, won't allow them to join class regularly? Of course. So, and that's one of the reasons why we have the classes recorded. In fact, there was a young lady, Chinechere. She joined our program earlier this year. She did not attend one of the classes. Now, this is not me telling you not to attend class. Don't get me wrong, please, guys. So she had an engagement every Saturday, but she really wanted to do this, even if we had our classes on Saturdays. So what she did was, immediately she comes back from a Saturday engagement, she jumps on the recording. Whatever was done in class, she does it and even asks questions on the WhatsApp. All right, she watches the recording, does the same thing, ask her own questions, she gets responses, and that was how she was able to build her portfolio. So if what you are talking about is you work shifts, so you'll be available sometimes, you won't be available sometimes, that's no problem. Okay, so we've worked with people in a more dire situation than yourself, Oluwasomi. So yours is easy. Okay, so Oluwasomi, have you secured your spot as well, or you wanted that question answered before securing your spot? So while I'm awaiting your response, Oluwasomi, um, Akintunde, go ahead and ask a question, please.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing
I'm
tonight?
fine, thank you. Yes, I actually locked my spot yesterday, but my question is that did we necessarily need a laptop to continue the training, or we can do it on our phone.
Okay, very good question. All right, so you actually need a laptop, okay, because what you will be doing is what's obtainable in the job, on the job as well. So you will not be able to do the job when you get a job without a laptop. Likewise, you will not be able to learn effectively without a laptop. So what I can advise that you do is this. When did you indicate you want to start?
According to your response yesterday, it was next August. You said August.
Yes, August. So what I can do for
That's
you
class.
is August, on the 9th of August. So what you want to do is, except if you can somehow get a laptop, not necessarily you buying, or maybe you have somebody around you that you can have that you have access to their laptop. If you can do that, that's fine. Also fine. But if you need more time, okay, we can definitely discuss that and see how we can work with you so that you get more time to, sort out a laptop, and then you can get yourself started. Is that fine?
It's fine. Yes. As
All right.
regards the business analysis,
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm interested in.
Okay. Brilliant.
Show my interest because it's good to. I'm not good in figure, but I'm still trying to learn. So I think
Yeah.
that one is more or less more administrative.
Fantastic. Yes, you're correct when you say it is more administrative. All right.
Yes.
But you don't even need to be a guru in maths to even go for either data analytics or data science. Okay, but business analysis is fantastic. Okay, in within an organization, they are one of the they are one of the roles that earn on average the highest. Okay. So I know when I say this now, people will say, okay, should I go for business analysis? So don't get me wrong. Data, I mean, uh, I have done
This one.
data analytics and data science, okay, and it's fantastic. But within the same organization, all right, it is possible that the business analyst end to be higher than you, all right. But you, as a data scientist or a data analyst, can earn higher than a business analyst somewhere else. So it's a lot of factors can play: geography, economy, the organization themselves, and what have you. So that's pretty much how it is. But yeah, just nice to know stuff. So that's why I mentioned it to you. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you may want to let your current you probably are already speaking with one of my team members, if I'm correct. So you may want to continue the conversation with them. Is that fine?
Nobody have contacted me since yesterday except my chat with you when I dropped the payment videos.
Okay. So you may want to check your email. Okay. So you want to check you filled the enrollment form, right?
Yes, I did, but yeah, the email I received was just recorded last
Okay.
yesterday.
So that's not the email I'm talking about. So except if so, I want you to look at the email or respond to the email. Okay, you can just respond to that email that you probably have not received the confirmation or what have you. Okay, apart from the
I'll
recording,
do that.
yeah. So
Okay.
you should get you, but don't worry, you don't need to worry about anything. You'll be contacted. Just keep tabs on your email. You can check your spam folder and your email also, just in case it went there. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's
Yes,
fine.
sir.
All right.
Thanks.
So it's a pleasure. Let me go back to the chat. Let me see. I hope I didn't miss anybody in the chat. Let's see. What question do I have in the chat box? Um, Methods is asking, please clarify again how one can secure a September slot now with the 10K. So it's not 10K, it's actually 30K. Look at my screen. 3 and 0, 30. All right. 30K. So with a minimum of 30K now. So okay, let me explain it. Now, the price of the program is 350,000. Right now, there is a 100K off. So instead of 350K, you pay 250K. As if that is not good enough. The 250K, you can split it into three. 85K to get started August 9th. 1 month later, another 85K. 1 month after that again, 80K. Do the mathematics, that's 250K. Now, you want to secure a spot ahead of September cohort. Fine. You do that now with at least 30K so that you can lock down your discount. So the discount is not infinite in terms of the number of people who want to get in and time. So in your own best interest, secure the discount now. When you send me a DM, I'll then walk you through the enrollment form. The enrollment form, you fill it out, and then while you're filling it out, you have the option to select September. So we'll walk you with you based on that. Does that answer your question, methods? Does that answer your question, methods? So I want to see your DM after this session. Okay. So somebody's asking, Ayomide is asking, can I pay 30K after this night to secure September score? After, when you say after this night, do you mean tomorrow? Or when exactly? Because it's kind of vague what after this night mean. Because it's actually this night, okay? So I really want to answer that question. Can I secure a spot by tomorrow? So Fidelis, you would need to send me a DM, okay? Send me a DM. I already send me a DM as well. But ordinarily the discounted slots, you know, are off tonight. So you want to find what you want to do now is find a way to secure it tonight. We still have up to like 2.5 hours. So the night is still on. Find a way to secure it, and just 30,000 naira to secure your spot. And then some people have told me before that, oh, I don't mind, okay, 350K, so I don't mind the 100K extra. And I'm like, why not use the 100? I mean, just secure the discount. So if you don't mind throwing away 100K, use that 100K to place an order, for a 1 month worth of shawarma supply to your house. Okay, and that's still 350K in the end. So, but you got a shawarma for 1 month for free. All right, so you can do that. Okay, but key thing is secure your spots tonight. Okay. Let me take one more question from the chat. Good evening, sir. And this is Easy of Former. I hope this class is recorded. I can barely hear anything. Sorry about your network, Easy of Former. Let me take one more then. Timile is saying, thank you for tonight. Learned quite a number of things. I'm glad you got value for your time, Timile. So Timile is saying, so I don't have the money to secure sports at the moment, but we want to ask if you could recommend a few things, apps to do to keep my hands on tab in data analysis, although the learning with PyDroid 3. So similarly, when you say you don't have the money to secure sports now, it's quite interesting, right? But what you don't want to do is self-learn. So self-learning only makes sense after you have gotten into the space. So and I'll use myself as an example for you to learn. I used to self-learn before getting into tech. I self-learned a lot until I met my mentor. My mentor was the one that then gave me a structure to follow, and that was what I followed to get into tech. Right? And Nabiant is acting as your mentor as well. Now, when you self-learn, if you just want to upskill, and that's why it makes sense to self-learn when you are already in that space. So as a professional now, if there is a new tool, I can self-learn it. I'm already in the space. But for you trying to get into the space, self-learning will not get you there. But if you just want to upskill, I mean, you don't need a tech job. You just want to upskill. Go ahead and self-learn. There are a lot of YouTube resources you can use, to do that. But if what you're looking for is you want to get a job, don't waste your time self-learning, simulating. Find a way to secure your sports. That's the problem you need to solve now. Don't solve the wrong problem. Okay? Don't solve the wrong problem, simulating. So that's my advice for you. All right. Before I take the next question in the chat, let me see. Pro Vibes. Pro Vibes. You had it still up. You want to speak now?
Yes, sir. Um, Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
All right. So I'm actually a medical doctor.
All right.
Uh, yeah, I was I have a vision to transition into tech, and I'm very very new to the whole thing of tech. Like all I know about is the medical and when it comes to health. Well,
Yeah.
outside of health, I'm so much of a a novice
Yeah.
in So I was thinking, I've been having a challenge with making a choice between these three options,
Okay.
which is data analytics and data science and business analysis. So
Okay.
I really appreciate it if you could probably guide me in making a choice as someone who is completely new to this whole thing. Um, I'm frankly interested in being a part of this program, but I am having that challenge of making a choice. I don't know if there's any tips or any advice you can give me with respect to that, considering my background as a medical doctor who knows little or nothing about tech.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. And it is interesting. The fact that tech itself allows you to move fluidly within industries. I remember a project I worked on, this same heart disease, project predicting patients who could likely be diagnosed, just getting some other information about them, their body mass index, um, systolic and diastolic blood pressures, some other parameters, and then based on that, because of the kind of results, of people who have been diagnosed in the past, you are able to predict which patient is likely going to be diagnosed, and even beyond that, as because you do that what I just said, you do that as a data scientist. Okay, even as a data analyst, you can work within the health ecosystem. So regardless of what you choose, it's relevant. But how I get to decide for people or recommend, not decide, you make the decision, not me. Okay, I only recommend or advise. So is this? Do you mind writing Python codes, or you don't want to write Python codes?
Okay. Actually, I don't mind writing Python code.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Mhm.
I'm I'm quite interested in a tech skill that will be easier for me to learn, like the easiest of them, so that I
Oh,
can get into tech space as soon as possible. I have intentions of, you know, still doing the other courses in future.
okay.
Decided what I want to select yes. So I'm looking for a course that can allow me to get into the state,
Yeah,
into the as soon as possible, where I can have job readiness, in
fantastic.
the amount of time possible. So
Fantastic. You just made all the sense in the world just right now. So, what I would advise you to do is start with data analytics. Okay, so you
okay.
start with data analytics, and you don't wait till you get an actual data analyst job. I mean, you're a doctor, you have access to data, right? So
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
sure in some hospitals they have databases, they have like uh what was it called? Like a bespoke platform where you interact, you communicate, you store data, not the mundane cabinet system of
No,
you know
EMR.
exactly. So now you can pull data from there, okay,
Yeah.
and because you have the skills, analyze, and you'll be shocked what you would discover from your data, okay, and present that to your superior and see what happens. Okay, see what happens. So a lot of people have gotten promotions. Some they come back to tell us, "Oh, I got promotion." Some get it and they don't tell us. Okay, so but the idea is that you start to use it where you're currently working, even before officially break into the space, a lot of good things can happen for you, and you just might even be fine with that. How does that sound?
This is perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the breakdown. It makes a whole lot of sense to me now with what you said. And it's
Fantastic.
true. Yeah, by virtue, we work with EMR. All our patient documents are all automated.
Absolutely there. Fantastic.
Access to the database. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, sir.
yeah, so it's a pleasure. So you have everything you need to succeed. So just get started. I don't know if you're one of the persons that have already sent me a DM, or you wanted this question answered first.
Okay, yeah, I haven't sent you a DM yet. I plan to do that after this particular session.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
I was indicating, asking about starting in September because
okay.
I'm a bit choked up. There's still another challenge though. Though I
Okay.
think you've already addressed that, and that's with respect to work schedule. As a
Okay.
doctor, yes, I work.
Yeah.
We have a, you know, work schedule that is quite unpredictable. You know,
Yes. I
some weekends, Saturdays I'm off duty. Some Saturdays I'm on duty, like probably on, you know. So I don't know how flexible. I don't know how, I can fix the whole thing. I'm someone who's really prepared to work. I'm really prepared to learn. I'm not banking on relaxing
yeah.
and having manna fall on my lap. I'm ready to do the work, but I don't want to be clashing with my working time. That's the major challenge I have. Besides
Okay.
that, I'm prepared to even start make my first installment payment tonight.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So we've worked with so many people like yourself in the past. So yours will be not different as well. So here's how we do it. Let me show you. I think it's important I show you the platform that you would be using at this point. So please, if your hand is still up, I'll take your questions. Just give me a moment. So when you get yourself registered, you get enrolled into a platform called Google Classroom. This is one of the platforms you get to use on the program. So the Google Classroom, and you can see this is the August class already. I already got an invite to join all the three classes, of course, because I'm an admin, so I have access to all the classes. So, but let me show you what a typical class would look like. So let's go to the April cohorts for data analytics. So when you come here, you click on classwork, and this is a repository of all your class materials. So you have the very first thing you get when you join is the important materials, and these important materials cover everything uh, under job application resources. With the sample CV right there, you have LinkedIn optimization resource. It will cover everything around LinkedIn optimization, and then portfolio video creation. So how to create your project portfolio. So you create it down, and once you work on project, you populate. So, but let me show you a typical class, which is where I'm going. So this is Tableau Live class, for example. Now the class comes before the class. You get the class material. Okay, that's the material that was used in class. You get the login details for you to join the class, just the way you joined this session. And more importantly, as the class is going on, it is recorded. So this is Piles, one of our most outstanding professionals that we have on board. So if I click on this now, it buffers for a little bit, and then I can relieve the class. Okay, I can watch the class again and do exactly what was done. Now, once I do this, I also have access to now I am you, so that's what I'm saying. Once I do this, so or let me be clear. So once you do this, you still have access to the platform. Okay, you have a WhatsApp platform where your facilitator is still there, and you'll be able to ask that questions directed to the facilitator. So this class is ordinarily for 3 hours, but if you look at this one, it lasted for 3 hours, 37 minutes. And that is because it's possible some people did not get some things. So the facilitator had to spend a little bit more time to ensure that everybody's on the same page. So I'll just fast forward it a little. You may not hear the audio, but you can see dashboard. This is the dashboard that was built in that particular class. So you can watch it like this, redo it, and even if you get stuck, you have somebody to run to. You have a facilitator, okay? You also have a class administrator that would, walk you through the whole process. So how does that sound to you? How does that sound
Uh,
to you?
it sounds really really comforting. I'm
Fantastic.
happy to know that there's a way out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's so I'll be expecting your DM then so we can, start work with you.
Yes, though I plan to start by September because I don't have a laptop at the moment and I have a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit. Yeah,
All right. You mentioned that. So key thing is, get access to that 100K off so that at least you can add that 100K to getting the laptop.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank, thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let me see who else has a question. Khadija has a question. Can you go ahead and ask a question, please?
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening. I'm fine, thank you. My question is this. I have problem, like, okay, I am into data analytics. I started learning some months back. I developed a dashboard.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I developed a dashboard, and although I'm learning under some person's mentorship, but it's more of self-learning.
Okay.
Okay. But before then, I've been into data science. I understand basics of Python, like and I've done like one machine learning project before then. So, but
Fantastic.
then it seems can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Clearly. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. So yeah, so I've done one machine learning. Like okay, if I'm going through a machine learning project, I understand what is done, why it is done. Like that is quite easy for me. But
Yeah.
I'm just struggling between machine learning, data science, data analytics. I can't seem to get one. So my
Okay.
goal now is that I want to land a job. Okay. But my end goal, like okay, my ambition is to become a ML engineer in
Yeah.
predictive analytics for facilities.
Okay.
That's my end goal. But I know to get there, I need to pass through some steps, I don't know. So now I don't know whether to start from data analytics or data science and actually I have access to data science courses online, all this Udemy,
Yeah.
WordQuant, different online sources.
Yeah.
But presently I need money.
Yeah.
I need money. Yeah. So
It's a- but-
I want to get on a track that will land
okay.
me a job. Then
Mm,
from there, I can transition to my end goal.
mm.
So that is the summary of my like I don't know what I like okay now I don't even know where to start from because I know fundamental of this one. I don't know Power BI or SQL. No, I've never used them, but I've used Excel. I know fundamental of Python and structure of ML, like let me regression and
Mhm.
blah 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 blah. I don't know
Yeah.
if you understand. So that's just it. So I don't know, like, if there's something you can offer, like.
Yeah. Okay. Very, very brilliant question, Khadija. So, what you need now, okay, is mentorship. Okay, mentorship. Of course, you still need to learn some tools. Let me go back to that slide so that I can show you. So what you need now is this. You need to leverage your prior knowledge and use that as a fast track to data science. So this is the course for you, the data science. Okay, I would, if you tell me you want data analytics, I'll tell you no. So I will choose this one for you. I'll not even recommend it. I'll choose it for you. So data science. Now the reason is very simple. With our data science program, you would go through Excel, and of course, Excel is also in the data analytics stack, but you'd use Excel for predictive analytics. Now, you'd also learn to use SQL. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a database tool that gives you access to the company's data. You can connect to it with tools like Tableau. So Tableau is a data visualization tool. Ordinarily, in a data science course, you will not see Tableau. And that's why when you go to those platforms you talked about, you likely not see Tableau as a data science course. So Tableau allows you, and this is a cheat code. It allows you to function as a data analyst if you ever need to. Okay. Yeah, so that's what Tableau does for you. You already know Python. I don't need to overflow Python. So but Python allows you to do a host of things, and one of the things you also get to learn beyond the things you've mentioned so far with our training program is NLP. So you get introduced to NLP. NLP is getting what do you call it now? It's becoming very popular, especially with the advent of tools like ChatGPT. People want to build their own version of ChatGPT, and if you ever want to do that, you must know NLP. So the same ATS I talked about earlier in the session, you know, NLP. What, are you saying something?
I said NLP is natural language program, or what is the
Natural language processing.
okay processing? Okay.
Yes, so it's under Python. So you use some neural networks to build that. So and then GitHub, GitHub allows you to do version control, and ChatGPT. Of course, you already know ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is easily my best tool. And as a data scientist, you will enjoy ChatGPT the most. You use it to write all those complex codes, so you can focus on problem solving rather than just writing a bunch of codes. So this is the program for you without a shadow of a doubt. All right. So, but
Is how many months does the program run?
so it's for 4 months. So you would have 3 months of learning and then 1 month of internship. So the internship is pretty much nobody's training you anymore. You get to work on real world problems. You solve it yourself, test yourself, and you can from there go ahead to take on jobs. But we have situations where our students get jobs even before the internship starts. So and I'm sure with your level of interest, that could happen for you as well. Okay, so the classes, I don't know whether you were here when I was talking about the classes, but just a brief rundown. So your classes are mainly on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Sundays, you get pre-recorded videos that prepare you ahead of the next Saturday. So it's a blended learning process where sometimes you come to a live session like this, other times, you just get yourself prepared by getting access to these videos. Then during the weekdays, you get support sessions on Tuesday evenings, 9 to 10 p.m. West African time. And then on Thursday evenings, you get mentorship as well. So all of this compound will give you your results. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, it does. Sorry, one last thing. Is there a certificate at the end of the program, or what we need?
Absolutely, there is a certificate, and I deliberately do not mention it. So the reason is this: And Nigerians are very big on certificates, and that's normal. Okay. But recruiters would care more about what you've been able to do, how public you are, than even your certificate. I mean, even if you come, Power BI, for example, they have their own certification. Okay. It's good to have, don't get me wrong. It's good to have a certificate. We offer a certificate at the end of your training program. But you need to keep in mind that the certificate alone would not get you the job. You need to be able to defend what you've done. You need to be able to, ace your interview. You need to be who you say you are online, on platforms like LinkedIn, for example. So these are some of the things that you also need beyond certificate. So I love to tell people this so that they get into the program with the correct mindset. So it's not all those programs you did back in the days where you just pass through, get the certificate, and that's all. All right. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
All right, fantastic. So I think I already received the DM from you if I'm correct.
Yeah, I send it to you.
Okay, all right. All right. So looking forward to having you in class.
We'll be glad to join. It's just that this economy and the money is ticking.
Is okay. All right. So what do you need? Is it time you need, or you just don't have the cash?
Actually, I came across your post yesterday on Facebook. I never even thought I was going to register for this class before this
Okay.
night. So
Oh,
by tomorrow, next tomorrow, I will give it a good thought and I'll get back to you. Because like I mentioned, I'm already learning data analytics under some person, and it is
okay.
I don't know, it's more of self-learn, but it is monitored. But
Okay.
I know in my mind that this is not the end goal. Like it's just like I am digressing. The more I go to it, the more I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I don't know why.
Yeah. No problem. I mean, self-learning is like that. Okay, it's always like that. You learn something, definitely, but again, what's the use of learning something when it's not fetching you anything? Do you get my point? So that's the big question. So find a way to get yourself a slot. I wouldn't like that you miss out on the 100K off. All right, I wouldn't like that for you.
Is the off or for the 100K off the discount?
Yeah, can you say that again? I didn't really get your question.
Like when does the discount end? Like
Okay, ordinarily it's this night. Ordinarily it's this night. Okay.
wow.
Yeah, but there are I don't say but because it seems as if I'm already making excuses for you already. So but ordinarily it's this night, okay? Just in dire situations, we extend by a few hours. Okay, so it goes into maybe tomorrow morning or thereabout.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will get back to you.
All right, no problem. I'll be expecting that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'll just take the remaining questions in the chat and then we will. So everybody who has sent me a DM, I would respond once I go off this call. Okay. So congratulations if you've already secured your spot. But let me give me a second, please. All right. So let me just see the questions. Is it still possible to secure a spot for September if I'm not able to pay 30K this night? So Ayomide, send me a DM, okay? Send me a DM. Else, it's gone. All right, Ayomide, if you're still on the call, send me a DM. All right, stating what you just said now in the chat so that you don't miss out, okay? Yes, I've secured a spot for September. Brilliant. Thank you for the advice. Fantastic. Who else? Okay, I think that's all the question that I have. Okay, if you are still here and you can still hear me, I really appreciate your time and I hope you learned one or two things in the course of the session. and I hope to see you in class. I hope to see you in class. First off tomorrow, okay, in my exclusive session. All right, we'll get to build a portfolio from scratch. So have a wonderful evening, guys.